This is TWiT.
Stacey Higginbotham, would you like to give us a pick?
Oh, so I am going to be a little promotional today, but only because I want to help y'all out, not because, I mean, yes, it does help me out.
It's for us. It's for us. We're doing it. You're doing it for us.
Wink has been down for a week.
Oh, I was going to ask you about this. Somebody called me on Sunday. I'm so glad you brought this up. Are they still down?
They were this morning last
What the
I
hell's
checked.
going
so right
on?
before I published the story.
Yes, they're still down.
They're struggling.
So this has gone on since the 25th.
Yes, that's true. And they did give people a discount. So I have a Wink subscription, or I had one.
Well,
I'm no longer having one.
The story so far, people bought the Wink device, free service. Then they realized that's not a financial model. Earlier last year, they started charging people $5 a month. That's a financial model, but everybody was pissed off. Now they've been down for more than 10 days. And I'm wondering if it's related. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, who knows? So, yes. So we don't know. And believe me, I have spent probably like a whole week of my life trying to get in touch with Wink.
Yeah.
If I look back on my efforts, just as a journalist, like, hey, what's up? So I did a story. The idea was the reason you stick with Wink for the most part, for most people, is because you still have Z-Wave and Zigbee devices that you like, and they don't work with, well, okay, Zigbee devices can work with Madam A or the Echo, some of the Echoes, but not all of them do. And so for those people out there who are like, I got all this Z-Wave gear, what am I supposed to do? I tried to create a rundown of options. What I discovered, though, is most of those options are sold out.
Oh.
So it's kind of sucky. But in what I did is I wrote a post, and this is in order of like ease of use. How the audience here is pretty tech savvy. So without smart things, you're probably like, that's cool. I could probably load some software onto a Pi and get a Z-Wave dongle and use something like Home Assistant. But, your options are smart things. They're no longer making their hardware.
Oh, no.
But
they were bought by Samsung?
They announced this.
They're going out of business?
They were bought by Samsung. No. They're just going to focus on the software. So they've pushed. So it's actually been very difficult to find a Smart Things hub. AOTech is going to be making them, but they're not available yet here in the U.S., which is frustrating. So they'll be available in a couple weeks, according to Smart Things. The other one that'll be available later this month is Eslo, is a brand you may not have heard of, but it's Vera Centralite and Fortress came together. And then the other option that's still sort of easy for people, like normal people to use, is something called Habitat Elevation, but that's also sold out. So all your easy options are kind of not on the market.
I told the guy who called, I said, this is the problem with going through a third-party server. You would be better off running your own server. And so I mentioned Hoobs. Would that be a good alternative?
So, and Micah pointed out that, because I had Kevin try Hoobs, because that's a Homebridge connection. With Hoobs, you still need to have a Z-Wave radio if you want to bring a Z-Wave device in. So that's a note. And the same with all of these. So there's Home Assistant.
You could buy the Hoobs for $169. Does that include the Z-Wave radio?
Yeah, but that doesn't have a Z-Wave radio.
Oh, you still have to get a separate radio. Okay.
Yeah, so both Home Assistant, OpenHab, and Homebridge or Hoobs, you're going to have to buy.
Yeah, that's the other thing I told them about OpenHab. I didn't know about the dongle, but I just said running your own server, you wouldn't have to worry if they go out of business, right?
I feel like you should run, if you're going to do anything, run Home Assistant, because there's more people. I like OpenHab. I've used it. It was kind of a trial, but it has the biggest community. And when you're working with like drivers for weird devices, having a large community really helps when you're like trying to troubleshoot.
Home Assistant. And can you do your own hardware, or do you have to buy their?
You could do your own hardware. They have a device called the Home Assistant Blue, and the Blue is actually very powerful.
And this, you don't need to buy a dongle.
You do still need to buy
you still need a dongle. It's all right. How much is a dongle? Come on. How hard can that be? It's a Z-Wave dongle that has a Z-Wave radio in it so that you can control. If you don't have any Z-Wave, you don't have to worry about it, right?
Yeah. And if you don't have any Z-Wave, if you don't have Z-Wave, dump Wink tomorrow, like today, yesterday. get it out of your house.
So was that purpose of Wink, is to bridge Z-Wave to Zigbee and the others?
So Wink, when it came out, was actually really cool because it had Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, Zigbee, and Z-Wave, which was all the major home radios. But it also had the Lutron Caseta radio. So if you didn't have the Caseta hub, which I'm putting behind me like it's still there, but it's not. It was living there for a while. But if you have that, or you didn't need that because they had the radio raw, not raw 2. They had the Caseta radio. I can't remember the protocol they use in that, which was really kind of very unique and super cool.
So if I got, here's a $45 Z-Wave USB stick. If I got that and stuck it into Hoobs or Home Assistance Blue, it would just work. They would know about it. They would say, "Oh yeah, I see you have a Z-Wave radio. Do I have to do anything
You're
additional?"
You're gonna have to pull a driver in for that. So you're gonna want to Google whatever Z-Wave.
It does get harder and harder. Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever, but that's why I think Home Assistant's great because they have all these.
They got it all.
Lovely forum posts that are like, here are the dongles that work.
That's what you want. Something that's widely supported. That's exactly right. Yeah. And do you? And this is your own server. You're not connecting to somebody's third-party server out there in the real world.
All of these have I shouldn't say all. Most of these have the ability. It's like so. OpenHab, Home Assistant, and Homebridge are your own server.
That's what I thought. That was my suggestion to the guy. Why depend on Wink for $5 a month when you could do it yourself?
The reason is because they're all getting better, but none of them are as easy to use.
Yeah, so it's just ease of use. Yeah. Well,
and, Home Assistant Blue just came out in December, so they're they're gradually moving. The problem with all of this is you have like the super nerds who want to like configure everything and spend a lot of time on it. But then you have everybody else who's like, look, I just want to set up a movie thing and I want to spend like 15 minutes setting up my movie night setup and that's it. And as you meet those people, you leave the other people behind.
Here's a company that sells, so they don't sell
Who's the company?
This is I'm looking at the Blue. Right, the Home Assistant Blue bundle is sold by a variety of companies. Here's one, Ameridroid. It's the only one in the U.S. And this is the bundle that they sell. For
now some people might have a bundle with a US.
That's what I'm wondering. Yeah, this includes a whole bunch of additional little things, including Shelly stuff.
Ooh, that's a whole automation package. Yeah, I've got some Shelly stuff coming today.
But new orders expected to ship in April, so
yeah,
you're gonna be offline for a while. Yeah. Wink might
You're not online now if you're with Wink.
Wink might be back. No, you might be because it says, I'm looking at February 3rd, they posted on their website, that's today, a fix has been implemented and we are monitoring the results. Most hubs are back online. So 10 days later, they're back online. But that does not give one confidence if for 10 days you can't turn on your lights, open your blinds.
So you could always do local stuff. And to be clear, Z-Wave is local.
They said, don't unplug your hub. Because if you unplug it, then it has to authorize before you get local control again. So they said local control is not affected, but don't unplug. That's not a good solution.
And for everyone who's arguing for the clapper, I think that's actually a wonderful product. I'm not kidding.
Clap on?
No joke about it.
Clap off.
Yes.
Wow. That's how far we've come in home automation in the last 50 years.
Basically, a lot of it is a more expensive clapper with software glitches.
That's why I'm not going to ever do this. I've learned my lesson. Okay, so that's some very good advice. I'm so glad you brought this up because I had meant to ask you about it. Actually, it was one of the first things I wanted to ask you because of this question. There is a full article about all of this at StaceyOnIoT.com. Where have all the smart home hubs gone? And
long time passing. Oh my gosh, that's like my car trips when I was a kid with my parents in their hippie stage.
Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya.